Classical Empire Ideologies by Christopher Goodell, Robbie McCrary, and Dominic Elrington. Early Human Ideologies. During early human societies, humans believed in different ideologies such as animism, pantheism, and naturalism. Animism was the attribution of a soul to plants, inanimate objects, and natural phenomena. Pantheism was the worship that admits or tolerates all gods. Naturalism was the philosophical belief that everything arises from natural properties and causes, and supernatural or spiritual explanations are excluded or discounted. These ideologies were central to early human societies as they represented how humans were innate with nature. Transfer into classical period. When humans started to form sedentary communities, eventually forming classical period empires, their ideologies changed since humans became less innate with nature. During the classical period, with the switch to agriculture, humans began to start to believe in monotheistic ideologies such as Christianity and Judaism. Some classical empires managed their minorities by decreasing the amount of power held by officials, while some other classical empires created strict social blocks, creating flexible hierarchies. The treatment of minorities and people in the empire was based on the formation of a social hierarchy and ancestral relations. The Big Idea. During the classical period, empires utilized different ideologies, such as Rome, who used syncretism. While Rome used syncretism, India utilized the caste system. An opposing view. Some claim that the ideology spread throughout the hunter-gatherer period carried on to the classical period. An example of the claim can be seen in everyday life. While the classical period represented a movement to sedentary societies, humans were still in touch with nature. Humans still ran under the old biological regime. Even in the late modern period, the rise of transcendentalism represented a revival in naturalism. However, the change from hunter-gatherer societies to empires created a massive change in ideological values. Humans started to believe in monotheistic ideologies because they based their beliefs on the geography they lived in. Roman syncretism. Rome during the classical period used syncretism, an amalgamation of different religions, cultures, and languages. In Rome, the Romans would require the inhabitants to participate in state religion, even though they'd be tolerant of the practice of other religions. The state religion was polytheistic. They praised gods such as Venus, Neptune, and Mars. One of the wealthiest positions in Rome was the group of priestesses who were in charge of protecting the sacred flame of Vesta. The sacred flame of Vesta was an eternal flame that presided in the temple of Vesta. The Romans were tolerant of other religions, as well as since Judaism was practiced throughout Rome. Rome's use of syncretism allowed the empire to flourish because it allowed different groups of people to preside in Rome. The tolerance of other religions also allowed Rome to create a national identity through Christianity, while staying diverse through the introduction of other minority ideologies. India and the caste system. Ancient India in the classical time period used the caste system to form their hierarchy. The four castes formed around occupations and social roles people had. At the top there was the Brahmins, which were the spiritual leaders and teachers. After them were the Kshatriyas that consisted of rulers, military elite officers, nobles, and property owners. They were the warriors and the ruling class in India. Next there were the Vaishyas, which were traders, agriculturalists, moneylenders, and smiths. They were the merchants and artisans for the kingdom. Lastly, at the bottom was the Sudras, which were the peasants and serf, which were unskilled servants for the upper three classes and the serfs. Not a part of the four castes were the untouchables, which were body disposers or sewage waste collectors, and the dirtiest jobs in India. The caste system was set in stone and was not malleable, and people could not move up or down caste ranks. While similar to syncretism, since it created a national identity, the caste system differed from Rome syncretism because it created a social hierarchy. Conclusion. New ideological ideas throughout the classical period were represented by Rome's syncretism and India's caste system. However, the ideologies spread throughout the classical period are still used today. An example is the belief in monotheistic religions. In fact, Christianity, a monotheistic religion, is still one of the more popular religions throughout the world. Even ideologies from hunter-gatherer societies have been represented throughout the past time periods. An example was the rise in transcendentalism during the late modern period. As demonstrated by the Romans and Indians, ideologies never truly disappear.